All right, welcome. It's time for us to talk sports on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momo, the King of Sport, and I've got some big stories waiting for me to unleash just for your own delight as we look at the big stories making the rounds. And one of the biggest story has to do with Victor Osimhen. Yes, you know him. He plays for Napoli and for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The big story just hitting us from the UK Daily Mail says that Chelsea are reportedly closing in on a 39 million pounds swap deal for Napoli striker Victor Osimhen. The Blues have already spent just over 200 million pounds this summer on 12 players with Pedro Neto, the latest to walk through the door after his £54 million move from Wolves. So Victor Osimhen is likely to be moving to Chelsea. That's the big story. Just for you to know that Mail Sport previously reported that Chelsea have been offered Victor Osimhen as part of the swap deal involving out-of-favour striker Romelu Lukaku. And so the Sun are now reporting that Napoli boss, in the person of Antonio Conte, wants two players and 39 million pounds in return for Osimhen. So that's how much Osimhen is worth. Two players plus 39 million pounds. Then Osimhen would move to Chelsea, and Lukaku will move the other direction. It's also claimed that he wants Lukaku, who joined for 97.5 million pounds in 2021, and a young 17-year-old midfielder, Kassadai, plus 39 million pounds for Osimhen to move to Stamford Bridge. So that's the big story there, that Victor Osimhen will be moving to Stamford Bridge, and Lukaku moving the other direction. Why is 17-year-old player will also be moving to Napoli. Already, let's just also let you know that talks are ongoing for a number of days already about Giovanni Mana. Napoli sporting director has been in London to talk to Chelsea as regards this deal. He has explored the potential move for Manchester United. Scott McTominay also moving to Napoli. That's another big talking point. Likewise, Bill Gilmore of Brighton. So Napoli trying to get as much English players to their fold. But let's let you know that Kassadai, meanwhile, is a player that Chelsea could potentially throw in the mix for Osimhen, along with Lukaku, who has spent the last 2 seasons on loan with Italy, with Inter Milan, and also with Roma. So now you know that Victor Osimhen might be moving to Stamford Bridge based on the swap deal, having this person move the other direction, Lukaku. All right, let's see how this is going to pan out. But we know that Osimhen has been a prolific Serie A for multiple of years. In 2022-2023, dispatched 31 goals in all competitions, helping to fire Napoli to the title. Meanwhile, Enzo Maresca's side are keen to sign another attacking player despite the arrival of Neto, and Osimhen is one of the players. And also, not forgetting that Chelsea is also in the mood for Samuel Omorodion from Atletico Madrid, appear to have fallen through that deal, which returns stored Conor Gallagher. So the fact that they couldn't get Samuel Omorodion into their fold means they definitely would want Osimhen to move to Stamford Bridge. So let's see how that's going to pan out. But the big story is that Osimhen is likely to be moving to Chelsea in the coming days and week, based on the fact that there's going to be a swap deal for Lukaku to move towards the other direction. So that's the big story there, breaking the fact that Osimhen will be heading to Chelsea in the coming days, as Lukaku will be moving to the other side. All right, let's give you some other stories making the rounds. And just to let you know that former Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur manager Mauricio Pochettino is poised to take the helm of the U.S. men's national team, according to multiple sources. This development comes after the dismissal of the previous coach, Greg Better Hatta following a disappointing group stage exit at the Summer's Copa America. Football journalist Fabrizio Romano stated via X on Thursday that Mauricio Pochettino becomes the new U.S. men's national team manager, leading the U.S. to the World Cup in 2026 after contracted with several managers. The former Chelsea and Spurs head coach says yes to the proposal and project per report in the U.S. Overnight. The Athletic has collaborated this information, stating that Pochettino has agreed to become the next head coach of the U.S. men's national team. This appointment marks the milestone for U.S. soccer as they secure a high-profile manager with an impressive track record at the club level. Pochettino's resume includes guiding Southampton to 8th place finish in the Premier League, achieving record league finishes with Tottenham Hotspur, including a Champions League final appearance in 2019 and securing the League One title with Paris Saint-Germain. Most recently, he led Chelsea to a 6th place finish and a European qualification in the 2023-2024 season. So Pochettino, yes, that's the man on your screen, aiming to become the new coach of the U.S. national team. So congratulations to the man, Mauricio Pochettino. We wish him the very best of luck at his new job as the head coach of the U.S. national team, where he will have lots of star players who also work with. All right, let's move on to other talking points as we look at big stories. Let's take you to Spain. We're talking about Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid. That's the next big story, as it was a dream debut for Kylian Mbappe. Yes, Kylian Mbappe made a debut to remember for Real Madrid after scoring against Atlanta in the UEFA Super Cup and winning his first trophy at the club already. First match, first trophy. It tells you that's what it takes when you play for the Galacticos, talking about Real Madrid, one of the greatest teams in the world. The superstar who joined as a free agent this summer after departing Paris Saint-Germain following a glittering 7-year stay at Paris Saint-Germain, ran out onto the pitch, inch-perfect cutback from Jude Bellingham and fired coolly into the top corner. Yes, it was Bellingham and Mbappe mixture that led to that goal. And his effort in the 68th minute doubled his side's lead after Federico Valverde opener and secured a maiden cup with Madrid wrapping up a dream display for Real Madrid. Let's also let you know that Mbappe was handed his first competitive start for the La Liga giant just weeks after sealing a move to the Bernabeu, having recently joined his teammate in training. The 25-year-old was afforded a brief holiday after France's Euro 2024 campaign and reported to Madrid's Valverde base to begin his rigorous footwork and getting fit for the season. But his congratulations to Kylian Mbappe winning his first trophy and also scoring his first goal for Real Madrid. Indeed, a very historic one for the man on your picture there. And let's also let you know that there were no hints of rustiness in his energetic performance as usual in Warsaw in Poland, where that game was played on Wednesday, with his net bustling strike capping up a superb night. He even treated supporters to an exciting glimpse of his budding partnership with Bellingham. Let's also give you some more stories about that match. That the midfielder adopted the usual position in attacking midfield, similar to his role for England at the Euros, and set about linking up with Mbappe. Vinicius Junior's mazy run saw him cross for Bellingham, and in turn the England hero split the defense to find Mbappe, talking about Mbappe, who is Madrid's new number 9 jersey wearing striker, who made no mistake in finishing up. So you've got Vinicius Junior crossing in, finding Jude Bellingham, and Jude Bellingham giving that killer pass for Mbappe to get the job done. So we've got a very fierce attacking trio of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, and also Jude Bellingham. So that's what you're going to be facing this season. All Real Madrid fans obviously excited with that performance. All right, let's give you some other stories making the rounds. Let's look at one Nigerian athlete from Real Madrid. That match was played yesterday, one of the biggest games of last night, so we had to bring it quickly to you. Let's bring you homebound and tell you about this Nigerian sprinter athlete. Her name Favour Ofili is in the news this morning. Let's say that Nigerian sprinter Favour Ofili is proud of her outing at the 2024 Olympic Games concluded in Paris, France on Sunday, despite the unfavorable outcome. The 21-year-old, who obviously has failed to take omission from the women's 100 meters in her stride, said she had to face mental challenges in order to realize her Olympic dreams, adding that the regrettable experience made her realize how strong she was. Competing in the Olympic has been a dream lifetime. And obviously, the fact that she missed out at the 100 meters wasn't fair. Ofili was one of the few Nigerian athletes tipped for the podium finish. She seemed destined for it in the 200 meters as she remained in the top 3 overall for both the preliminary and semi-final rounds, only to finish 6th in her Olympics final debut as a first-time Olympian. Her exclusion from the 100 meters event took the shine off her campaign and dented Nigeria's outing, as neither the National Olympic Committee nor the Athletic Federation of Nigeria would own up to the global embarrassment. Very, very sad commentary there. That's the lady on your screen felt so terrible there, talking about Favour Ofili, who was had done by the mistake by the Athletic Federation of Nigeria and the Olympic Committee. None of them agreeing to take responsibility for letting Ofili down. But Ofili says now she knows she's stronger and she feels so bad as regards what played out at the Olympics, but glad to know she's stronger now. All right, we're still looking at big stories making the rounds across a border from the story of Osimhen, likely to hit Chelsea, to Mbappe scoring his first Real Madrid goal, and also moving on to other stories making the round, talking about Ofili. Let's move on to MMA, talking about a Nigerian athlete who does mixed martial arts. Israel Adesanya is in the news this morning. Let's talk about Israel Adesanya. Before we go to talk about Laman Yamal, whose dad was attacked, but the big story this for now is that the former 2-time UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has been tipped to knock out current champion Du Plessis in their title fight at the UFC 305 in Perth on Saturday. Australian MMA star Alexander Volkanovski, speaking on YouTube channel, predicted a spectacular finish for the Nigerian-born fighter resident in New Zealand. Adesanya, who has lost 2 of his past 3 fights, is seeking to reclaim the middleweight title he lost to Sean Strickland in a shocking upset last year. Du Plessis subsequently defeated Strickland to claim the belt. Despite Du Plessis' unorthodox style and grappling prowess, Volkanovski believes Adesanya has learned from his previous setback. The Australian fighter did, however, caution that Adesanya needs to be wary of Du Plessis' takedown attempts and submission skills. So Adesanya will be fighting on Saturday. We wish Israel Adesanya the very best as he seeks to get back his middleweight title, which he lost to Strickland before Strickland lost it to Du Plessis. And Adesanya, Nigerian-born, says he is ready. It's South Africa versus Nigeria again when it comes to MMA. We know the rivalry between South Africa and Nigeria, and this time they're taking it to the mixed martial arts sport. And Israel Adesanya, we know, is one of the best when it comes to the mixed martial art, and we're wishing him the very best, that he will be able to beat the South African behind his own backyard in South Africa on Saturdays. Israel Adesanya aiming to reclaim his middleweight belt. Talking about the UFC 305 there. And it's going to be a very titanic battle between those two men. And let's see how that's going to pan out. All right, let's take you to Scotland. And we're looking at Rangers. Yes, Rangers. Ishaka joins Awoniyi, Aino and Dennis at Forest. That's a big story. Let's say that Enugu Rangers winger Thompson Ishaka is on the cups of teaming up with Nigerian internationals Taiwo Awoniyi, Ola Aino and Emmanuel Dennis at Nottingham Forest. That's the big story this morning, that the 19-year-old is currently in England to complete his transfer to the Reds following a successful trial, and he is set to become the fourth Nigerian on their payroll. The 2023 Flying Eagles invitee Thomas Ishaka is said to be offered a contract after impressing the coaches and the coaching staff during his trial period. The Forest believe that he can break into the first team in the near not too distant future. Although talks are still ongoing, the Nigerian starlet is confident that his move to the two-time European champions will go through in the coming days. Ishaka attracted interest from a side in Austria, but Nottingham Forest made their interest clear and moved quickly to invite him for trial just to figure out his valuation. Ishaka did not play much for Rangers B team during the preseason preparations, all but confirming that a departure from the Light Blues was on the cards. All right, so Enugu Rangers, talking about the Flying Antelopes, they've got Thompson Ishaka likely to be moving to Nottingham Forest in England. So we wish him the very best, former invitee of the Flying Eagles. All right, let's move on to other stories making the rounds. Let's talk about one man. You saw him at the Euros. Yamal is in the news this morning, but it has to do with his father. So the big story tells us that police have confirmed they have arrested 3 men. They are still questioning following the stabbing of Spanish international Lamine Yamal's dad. Monia Nasrul, who is 32, was rushed to hospital on Wednesday night after being knifed in the chest and ribs in the neighborhood of Rocafonda in the Marató north of Barcelona, where 17-year-old World Cup sensation Yamal grew up. Detectives have confirmed the arrested men were involved in an earlier incident in which Monia was filmed in a street confrontation, having water thrown over him from a balcony. He was filmed being pushed away by local police employed by Morata Town Hall after getting involved in an argument while wearing a Barcelona shirt with his son's name and squad number on the back. A spokesman for the regional police said he can confirm that 3 people have been arrested. A very sad commentary there of the Barcelona star father being knifed. All right, let's hope the right things will be done, and we hope his safety will be of paramount interest for the police and the Spanish government. All right, let's move on to other big stories making the rounds as we look at top stories on the ground. And we've got some story coming about Ivan Toney, who plays for Brentford in England. But before we take that story, let's go for a very quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be looking at other stories making the rounds. Stay with us.
I want to go further to congratulate you on being on DSTV 365. Yeah, channel 365 is an awesome thing. Congratulations, and I will enjoy each and every one to keep on watching Global TV.
This is Global TV. For your current affairs, for your current information, ideas, education, entertainment news at the best. Channel 365 on DSTV. You have just come alive into a new phenomenon in the media industry. Keep watching. Stay tuned.
Keep watching Global Television on DSTV channel 365 for your news and all national issues and international breaking news. Watch Global TV.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on Global Television. The headlines, scores, breaking news and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the
I want to go further to congratulate you on being on DSTV 365. Yeah, channel 365 is an awesome thing. Congratulations, and I will enjoy each and every one to keep on watching Global TV.
This is Global TV. For your current affairs, for your current information, ideas, education, entertainment news at the best. Channel 365 on DSTV. You have just come alive into a new phenomenon in the media industry. Keep watching. Stay tuned.
Keep watching Global Television on DSTV channel 365 for your news and all national issues and international breaking news. Watch Global TV.
All right, welcome back. It's still Talk Sports on Global Television. We're still looking at the big stories making the rounds, and let's focus on some transfer market. Ivan Toney is in the news for good reasons. He made the Euro 2024 at Germany, where he played some few matches as from the bench for the Three Lions. And story says Brentford's £60 million rated striker Ivan Toney is wanted by Al Hilal Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, who are willing to offer him a 3-year deal. The 28-year-old remains an option for Premier League side, but is waiting on other deals falling into place. He's also wanted by Manchester United. Tony had been set to leave the Bees this summer, but no deal has yet been agreed with the Brentford and any other side with the start of the season coming forward. Brentford will start their top flight campaign at home to Crystal Palace this weekend, with Tony set to play a role, something few saw happening at the end of last season. He has been involved in pre-season with Thomas Frank's side since returning from Euro 2024 with England, and could start at the weekend. Also, he still wants to leave Brentford, but just over 2 weeks for all parties to agree on his transfer. Should he move to Al Hilal, he will join the likes of Edward Mendy, Riyad Mahrez, and Roberto Firmino. And also Manchester United at a point said they would want to have him in their books. But the big question is, why is teams not coming forward to get Ivan Toney? He did well at the Euros and has shown he's got potentials to play for any big team that would want to sign him on. Let's still looking at big stories making the rounds. Let's go to Manchester United, where one man is in the news. His name, Bruno Fernandes, is in the news this morning, as Bruno Fernandes has revealed that he had concrete offers to leave Manchester United before signing his new deal. The Red Devils captain has put pen to paper on a new long-term contract, committing his future to the club until 2027. The new contract, which includes the option of a further year, represents a huge boost to manager Erik ten Hag on the eve of the new season. It is understood that the new deal is an improvement of his 240,000 a week deal and brings him in line with the club's top earners. And so it means there had been uncertainty around the long-term future of Fernandes, who has won the 3 Premier League Player of the Year award since joining United in 2020 at the end of last season, but those doubts have now been dismissed. Now he revealed that he had a chance to leave the club this summer, but instead opted to commit his future to Old Trafford. So indeed, he's going to be an Old Trafford legend by the time he's done. The fact that he decided to stay put with Manchester United, it's a positive note, and we hope to see how this season is going to turn out for him and the rest of the team. Already, new players have been brought in by Manchester United to show their willingness and eagerness to do better this season. So we'll be looking keenly to see how Bruno Fernandes will be leading his team to see if they can, contest for the title alongside Manchester City and other big teams in the English Premier League. All right, a lot of stories are coming across as we look at the big stories. Let's go to take you to Spain, where there's a controversial story concerning the man called Alvaro Morata. It's no longer news that he did split with his wife, and the wife is talking now what made them split. For those that do not know, Alvaro Morata's mother wife, Alice Campello, has revealed the reason behind their planned divorce just a day after denying that the Spain Euro 2024 winning captain had sent explicit photos to another woman. The pair announced their breakup at the start of the week following 7 years of marriage, during which time they have 4 children together. Confirmation of their split just came a fortnight ago after the pair were spotted kissing on the beach during a family holiday on the Mediterranean island of Sardinia. Now, Campello has explained why the couple have ended their relationship and cited how the instability of a football combined with other pressures forced them to a breaking point. The 29-year-old influencer also explained how postnatal depression has affected both of them, their decision-making, and their 4th child, Bella, born just a year a goal. Very sad commentary there. And also describing how they mutually decided to end their marriage. Campello said via Marca, "We are two young people. We have both been immature when it comes to managing certain situations. There are many children, moments of instability of being from one country to the other." Moreta and Campello have remained on good terms since announcing their decision, and they attempted to navigate their way through a respectful divorce in the weeks and months ahead. Very sad commentary. Footballers, like they say, never stay one place. They have to move when the money comes calling. They have to move, but Morata moving not just because of money, but some other interests. But very sad commentary there. Losing a family is no joke. All right, let's move on and talk about one man. He still has his family intact despite moving for money and for pleasure. His name, CR7. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo is in the news again. He has started banging in goals for his team, Al Nassr. Let's say that Cristiano Ronaldo wasted no time. Yes, CR7 wasted no time in scoring his first goal for the season for Al Nassr after finding the net against Al Tawoun in the Saudi Super Cup semi-final. In the wake of his disappointing Euro 2024 campaign with Portugal this summer, the superstar returned to action at club level on Wednesday evening and delivered a sensational performance, capped off with a maiden strike and an assist. The evergreen 39-year-old found himself in the thick of the action in the game's early knockings and teed up Ayima Yaya for the breakthrough in the 8th minute of the game. Ronaldo then ensured he hit the ground running after tucking home a neat finish shortly before the hour mark, following a good work down the right from Yaya. Sultan Ghanam received the ball from the winger, set up Ronaldo after squeezing in a cross from the byline. The veteran tucking home with aplomb. Cristiano Ronaldo doing what he knows how to do best, scoring goals. Let's also let you know that the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, Ronaldo, could even have notched a brace on his Saudi Arabian comeback, but was agonizingly denied by the woodwork. His goal sensationally ensured he has now scored in 23 straight seasons, and he will look to take his red-hot form into the Saudi Super Cup final August 17th. Should Ronaldo's side beat Al Hilal, he will lift his second trophy for the club. Meanwhile, he continues to catch the eye in the Middle East. His storied international career appears to be winding down to an emotional close. That's Cristiano Ronaldo scoring more great goals for his club and looking to add more to his goal tally before he calls it a wrap on his footballing career. But kudos to Ronaldo, always finding the back of the net every time he has the chance to don the jersey of Portugal or his club size, and that's what he knows how to do best, score great goals. All right, let's talk Arsenal matter this time around. Looking at Arsenal and the big story making the rounds, talking Arsenal story. Arteta is in the news this morning as we give you update from the Gunners. Let's tell you that Arsenal are reportedly keen to sign Real Sociedad's midfielder Mikel Merino after the player expressed his desire to move. That's Arsenal there, and the Euro 2024 winner with Spain has become a top target for several big clubs, especially after his decisive goal in the European Championship in the quarterfinals against Germany ensured that Spain went on to become champions. However, Arsenal's interest in Merino is believed to have started before the international tournament, as the Gunners, particularly Mikel Arteta, is keen to add strength in depth to his midfield. Talking about Arsenal already, according to the Telegraph, Real Sociedad are open to selling the player to avoid losing him on a free at the end of the season. Report coming says they are convinced that defensive midfielder Martin Zubimendi would stay for the 2024-2025 season. So that's the reason why this man Merino might be allowed to move to the Gunners in the coming weeks. Yes, that's the man on your screen there, Merino, who is 28, has 1 year left on his contract, and is tempted to join the Premier League side. He wears a jersey. He wears jersey number 6 for the Spanish national team. That's the man on your screen there, the man wanted by Arsenal. Mikel Merino is his name, and he is planning to join the Gunners in the coming days and weeks. Let's see if this Euro Champions winner will be joining the Gunners in the coming days. All right, let's talk about one man who went to Spain but couldn't remain in Spain, was ordered back to Stamford Bridge. You know who I'm talking about? Conor Gallagher. But the story reaching us from Atletico is saying something different, that despite Chelsea asking him to return back to Stamford Bridge, the man called Gallagher is still loved and wanted by the coach of Atletico Madrid, talking about Diego Simeone, who has said he expects, he still believes that he would be getting the man back to Spain anytime soon. All right, there's a man who is also leaving Stamford Bridge. His name is Thiago Silva. We're talking Thiago Silva this morning. We've got some story concerning Thiago Silva and his wife, who has come to clear his things from Stamford Bridge as the Brazilian exits Chelsea. Thiago Silva's wife, known as Belly, has helped clear out the defender's box at Chelsea following his departure from the club. Silva left the Blues on a free transfer at the end of last season after making 155 appearances in 4 years after joining from Paris Saint-Germain. The now 39-year-old, he has joined Fluminense in his native Brazil with his wife Belly, who has regularly shared her thoughts on her husband's career in Chelsea. Bella shared snaps of Stamford Bridge on her Instagram account on Wednesday afternoon with a post caption, "End of an era," as she helped clear Silva's box, which ordinarily cost £91,000 per person inside the ground. In the video, items including Silva's lifting the club World Cup with Chelsea as she approached the door to a box entering. You could see some footage of her sharing moments with Thiago Silva of former Chelsea, now moving to Fluminense in Brazil. So that's an end of an era, according to the wife of Thiago Silva, the fact that he's leaving and moving back to Brazil. All right, we'll go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be giving you other stories making the rounds as we reach the business end of today's edition of the program, Talk Sports. Stay with us.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on global television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events, talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momadou. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
That goal! Beautiful!
All right, welcome back from the break. You still talk sport as we give you some update as regards the Carabao Cup pairings, which will be coming up as the season kicks off. We're looking at West Ham and Newcastle all handed the second round draw as Wayne Rooney faces a trip to Watford after winning the first game as Plymouth boss. Let's give you the story that a number of Premier League sides discovered their fate for the second round of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday evening following the conclusion of the first round ties. Top division side not in Europe, including Newcastle and West Ham, entered the competition in the second round, as well as the likes of relegated sides like Burnley and Luton. In total of 25 ties were drawn, featuring teams from the top 4 divisions in England, with the likes of holders Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal to enter the third round. West Ham, now under Julian Lopetegui, will host fellow Premier League outfit Bournemouth in the second round, while Newcastle were also handed a top flight side in a regionalized draw. Eddie Howe and co will travel to Nottingham Forest for their second round game, with games to be held on the week commencing August 26th. All right, there were a number of upsets in the first round, with the likes of Colchester, Fleetwood and Walsall coming out on top against the higher league sides. The likes of Bristol City, West Brom and Sunderland from the Championship were all eliminated. Meanwhile, Wayne Rooney won his first game as Plymouth boss at the second time of asking on Wednesday night, with his side coming out on top of at home park against the League One side, Cheltenham. All right, that's the fixture for Carabao Cup and the matches to be expected. A big one between Premier League sides and some other sides in the lower leagues, the Championship. All right, let's move on to other stories making the rounds. Let's take you to Liverpool, and we have some Liverpool stories to share, taking you to Anfield, where they say they never walk alone in Anfield, but we're looking at Liverpool agreeing a £10 million fee for RB Salzburg for Bobby Clark. That's the big story there. Liverpool agreeing a £10 million deal for Bobby Clark to move to RB Salzburg. That's the big story this morning. Let's tell you that Red Bull Salzburg have agreed a fee with Liverpool for young star Bobby Clark as the 19-year-old prepares to leave England for the Australian top flight side. And his slot is yet to welcome a player to the club since replacing Jurgen Klopp in the Anfield dugout at the start of the summer, ahead of the Premier League season getting underway on Friday, which is tomorrow. Liverpool had thought that Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad was going to join them, but only for the Spaniard, to reject the offer of joining Liverpool. So Liverpool is doing more selling than bringing in, talking about the player Bobby Clark moving out of Liverpool. Let's just let you know that now that the club are set to see their squad numbers further renews as Clark prepares to join Salzburg after the two clubs came to an agreement of a £10 million asking price. Salzburg are coached by former Liverpool assistant in the person of Pep Linders, who previously worked with Clark as the attacking talent broke into the first team of Liverpool last season. So that's all we will take care for Liverpool. As we move on to other stories making the rounds, let's give you some other big stories concerning West Ham. And this is West Ham in the news this morning. The West Ham story has to do with some preparations, and West Ham has says that Tim Stedin has spent the last few months glued to his phone as a West Ham's technical director, and the man responsible for recruitment has told fans of the club would have a very busy summer. Already they've gotten Manchester United, Aaron Wan-Bissaka into their fold, and they still look to bring more players as they get set for the next season. Talking about West Ham, the club's expenditure has surpassed £120 million with the likes of Max Kilman, Niklas Füllkrug, who plays for the German national team, joining the team. They've also brought in Crescencio Somerville, having all completed moves to the London club. At the weekend, Jean-Claire Todibo became the seventh summer signing, sealing a season-long move from Nice. West Ham have an option to buy from Barcelona that player if he performs well after the loan. They have the option to buy him from Barcelona. So West Ham getting set for the season coming up, talking about the 2024-2025 season. We've got just some few stories to take care before we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program. All right, let's just give you one more story concerning this player, which has to do with the Englishman, talking about Conor Gallagher. Talking about Gallagher, okay, let's move on. Talking about Gallagher now, Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid coach, is in the news this morning. Let's tell you that Diego Simeone has personally told Conor Gallagher that Atletico Madrid are desperate to sign him. According to a report from Spain, Gallagher seemed set to leave Chelsea for the Spanish side, only for him to be told to return back to Stamford Bridge. But Diego Simeone is saying that he still feels that Gallagher will be making his way back to Atletico once issues are sorted out with Chelsea, with Enzo Maresca, the coach of Chelsea, already marking Gallagher, saying he's not part of his plans for the new season. But in the coming weeks, we'll get to see if Gallagher will be returning back to Atletico to confirm his movement permanently from Old Trafford. That's how we're going to call it a wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. I want to say a big thank you to the entire team for helping us come out clean and clear to you this morning, giving you all the big stories making the rounds from the home front to the global scene, where we shared some of the big stories. And also congratulations to Enugu Rangers winger Thomas Ishaka, who is joining Nottingham Forest, where Taiwo Awoniyi, Ola Aina, and Emmanuel Dalis already play for. And congratulations to no other person but Kylian Mbappe, who scored his first goal for Real Madrid and winning his first trophy for the Spanish Giants. My name is Anthony Momodu, the King of Sports, saying thank you. Let's do this again tomorrow.